It seems the sound of a flute could once often be heard coming from the doctor's house. His neighbors complained about the noise, though, and all has been quiet since. The man says you'll need a torch to explore caves. And, he adds, it just so happens you can buy them at the item shop. You get the feeling he probably works for said shop. The man scours his skin with a washcloth, trying to rid himself of all odor. Apparently, he blames his natural musk for his unlucky love life. You catch a whiff of scent wafting off him. It is rather pungent. An idea strikes you. Maybe getting rid of the toxins within the body would get rid of the odor without, too. You hand him an antidote and he chugs it down. As soon as he's finished, overjoyed, the man resolves to tell the person he likes how he feels. From his breast pocket, the man pulls out something to give you in thanks. The woman tells you a monster stole something very valuable from her. If only someone could get it back for me, she sighs. What did it steal, you ask? Medicine, says the woman, to give my skin a lustrous glow. Apparently, monsters have been mugging people along this stretch of road lately. The Ivory Order is searching for where they're stashing the stolen goods. Don't hold back. Something's catching the sunlight just so. You move closer to get a better look at it. You find a chest lodged. Something about this feels familiar. You fish a note out of. Sure enough, this is the location those thieves mentioned when you were eavesdropping. Quite convinced you found their stash, you open the chest with a self-satisfied smirk on your face. Good work. It's pitch black inside the cave. Who knows what dangers lurk within? Maybe you should prepare first. Light can't reach the furthest depths of the cave. It may be impossible to proceed without a torch. You light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated. Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance. Good work. Don't hold back. Nice work. You did great. The door is shut tight. It seems some strange force keeps it. Upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity that looks like some sort of sphere should go there. put the magic sphere into the cavity, and the door opens. About the enemy. Excellent. A claret trail leads you deeper into the cave. Was the walking wounded a monster or a human? A knot forms in your gut. You raise the torch to get a better look at your surroundings. The walls have been gouged and scarred as far as you can see. Another message comes into view, written in tiny letters among the scars. I will find you. What horrors transpired here? You press on, deeper into the cave. Light floods into the chamber, illuminating a scene so startling, you nearly drop the torch altogether. Two mummified bodies lie close beside one another, their hands clasped together. Beside them, a message written in blood. We leave together. Perhaps they were lovers? Whatever the case, you notice the bellwether nestled in their hand. You gently pry it free, bend a knee, and say a small prayer for the dearly departed. Let's do this. Excellent. You make to open the chest, but an ominous voice echoes around you. I will not relinquish my hoard. The next instant, something leaps at you out from the darkness. Excellent. Oh? The monster defeated, you turn toward the treasure chest. And see those Ivory Order jerks rooting through it. You rush over, but you're too late to stop them. Sweet of you to take care of the monsters for us, trills Winifred, favoring you with tucking the spoils from the chest safely into a bag. The Ivory Order trio stroll away whence they came. Knowing you couldn't stop them if you tried, you could do nothing but stand slack-jawed and watch them go. The chest is empty, save for a ragged doll. Nice of them to leave us the trash, you grumble in irritation. For some reason, Melanie picks up the ragged doll. Congrats. Apparently, the woman is being harangued by some man who keeps asking her out. I don't know how many times I have to tell him he's just not my type, she sighs. Cypri has lived here for many years, conducting research on monsters. When he catches sight of the ragged doll in Melanie's hands, his face slackens in shock, and he reaches out for it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago, but she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters took it from him. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply in gratitude. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri. What do you know about the dragon? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville, where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on your heel to leave. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood. Well, if it isn't the head of the National Inn Association's son, the innkeeper blurts out, overcome with surprise. You've clearly been mistaken for someone else, but the innkeeper looks so excited that you dare not burst her bubble. Your room is free. The party leaves the inn feeling rested. A thick fog impedes your vision. You surmise this is in no small part why they call it the Bewildering Wood. Many a brave soul has set foot in this wood, only to be swallowed up and never seen nor heard from again. They also tell of a certain tool one needs to get through this place. Trees bearing very solid-looking nuts whip to and fro in the force of the gale. This doesn't bode well for you. A bunch of nuts fly off from the trees, but you and your friends hightailed it out of there before any of them could hit you. A message is written on the sign. Seek out the four Stela hidden deep in these woods. Found the Northern Stela. It doesn't look particularly special. You resolve to touch it anyhow. You hear a beautiful melody flowing from the forest depths. It sounds like singing, or perhaps birdsong. As you listen closely, you are struck by a sudden dizzy spell. You sense a presence growing closer, but cannot react. The grass rustles, then a monster slowly shows itself from between the blades. It's a harpy. Realizing you've been caught in the harpy's trap, you ready your weapons. Good work. For some time after that, you find yourself trembling at the mere sound of a bird's tweet. Let's do this. That was lucky. You have found the Eastern Stela. You see the words Melody of Fortune chiseled into the corner. Nuts fly off the trees and smack you and your friends right on the head. Everyone's faces screw up in agony. I need to hit the Stela every single time I want to go home. Ah, what a pain, the frowning woman sighs. The next Stela is... You hear someone murmuring. It sounds like a man, but you can't really be sure in these woods. have found the southern stela. You smack it and hear a sound off to the west. You'd best head that way next. You have found the western stela, which you swear up and down was not here when you came in. Nevertheless, you give it a smack. You have found all 4 of the stela in the bewildering wood. On a perhaps related note, you hear a sound emanating from the east. The woman appears to be lost. How do I get out of here? She asks with furrowed brows. Congrats. You examine the stela. The message carved into the stela reads, "Play in tune. You hold the woodland flute you received from the good doctor in Thriston." You blow a handful of pleasant enough notes into the woodland flute. You soon become aware of accompanying percussion, which reveals itself to be a series of impeccably timed footfalls racing toward you. A young woman appears before you. "That was absolutely dreadful," she whinges, her jaunty gait betraying her enjoyment. She calls herself Ridis and declares herself a woodlander, resident of the bewildering wood. By sheer coincidence, the flute on which you played those notes was one designed to call the woodland people to your side. Stunned by your good fortune, you ask Ridis to lead you eastward out of the forest. What luck! She agrees far more readily than you ever anticipated. But, she continues, extending her hand, you'll have to hand over the woodland flute first. You hand over the flute, firmly restating that she may have it on the condition she leads you out of the bewildering wood. Ridis plucks the woodland flute out of your hands with glee and begins playing it as she skips away. Well, playing is a generous term. It sounds as though she may as well be murdering the poor thing. Ridis makes it clear that the fastest way out of the woods is through woodland, where she lives. "It's that-a-way," Ridis says gleefully, pointing past the stela before you. "Welcome to Woodland," Ridis says, gesturing out over the village. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy for the rest of the day, so you'll have to wait till tomorrow to leave the forest," she says, and makes her way home. "Welcome to the Forest Oasis," the man greets you warmly. You happen upon a man greedily guzzling well water. Could it truly be that much better than ordinary water? "This shortcut is reserved for use by woodland citizens only," the guard barks, clearly unwilling to let you pass. Apparently, she's heard rumors of the dragon destroying another town somewhere. Our village would burn down so easily, she mutters, perhaps a bit more afraid of the symptom than the cause. You learn that Ridus's family is mired in debt and living hand to mouth. And I know how they got in so much trouble, the rumor mongerer says deliciously. We are not in the business of meddling in the personal affairs of others, Melanie says curtly, cutting her off. This is the game parlor. Come play cards, the boy at reception calls. Good job. The boy praises you, proffering a gift in commemoration of your first win. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. Riddis pores over a book while practicing on the woodland flute. She remains dreadful at it. The instant you begin speaking, she nearly leaps out of her skin and hides the book. She somehow hadn't noticed you. I thought you were the debt collectors. You can't sneak up on me like that, she stammers, struggling to regain her composure. You take note of a woman who appears quite ill. As it turns out, she is none other than Riddis's mother. She is in no small amount of pain. Will you give her something to ease her suffering? The item you've proffered has no... But I appreciate the thought. Riddis's mother hands you mysterious card 3 as a token of her gratitude. She begins speaking of Riddis, who has been preparing the medicine that helps her get through the day. She blames her illness, and therefore herself, for making Riddis's life so difficult. The more she talks, the more her face drops. Been a while since we've had any outsiders, the innkeeper says, beckoning the party in. It turns out this inn is simply a place where the poor, lost souls trapped in the bewildering wood may recover. You may stay as long as you like, free of charge. The wooden dining table practically groans under the weight of the platters upon it, all brimming with meats and vegetables from the bewildering wood. I've certainly earned this, you say to yourself, as you slide into your seat at the table, positively drooling over the feast before you. Melanie takes no note of your boorish behavior, uttering a small prayer of thanksgiving before reaching for a plate of vegetables. Mar sits, eyes fixed on the food upon the table, statuesque in his stillness. What a good boy. Mar clears the entire table in a matter of seconds, even emptying the water barrel in a single gulp. He lets out a self-satisfied burp that sends a small jet of just-drank water arcing out onto the floor. The sun sinks low, and the day draws to a close. A scream pierces the silence, Fire! You leap out of the others follow suit, and before long you've burst through the front door and into the street. Ridis's house is ablaze, a nearby villager screams. My mother is still inside, Ridis shrieks, darting past you to fetch water from the well south of the village. Ridis is gathering water in an attempt to fight the blaze all on her own. You toss a nearby bucket into the well and haul it up by the rope. Rather, you attempt to, but thanks to Mar robbing you of a meal, your strength fails you. Melanie tosses a nearby bucket into the well and hauls it up by the rope. But she hasn't the strength to raise a full bucket. She releases the rope and examines her raw, reddened hands. None can say she did not try. Mar's eyes light up. He scrambles over the edge of the well and sucks the well dry in an instant. He pokes at his swollen belly and gestures toward Ridis's house, as if to say, "Get me back there, quick." Quickly, put it out. You have to put it out, Ridis screams at Mar. Mar douses the house with the water he sucked up from the well. The fire is reduced to mere embers, and all is well. Or so you think. Something darts out from behind the house and attacks. That was lucky. The fiery beast dispatched, Eurydice's mother, now safe, tells you the creature came out of nowhere and set the house aflame. What would bring a creature of fire to a place like this, you wonder? Light breaks on a new day, and the commotion of the fire feels but a nightmare. You lead your party to Eurydice's house to ask for safe passage out of the bewildering wood.